All right, that is the rolling coverage of the burial service and interment for the late General Francis Ogolla. And of course, that is happening in Ngia in Siaya County. You can see the hearse has already arrived at the late General Ogolla's home. And of course, this is going to be a private ceremony. The military burial rites expected now to be held here in this ceremony. And of course, only designated mourners have been allowed in the home, where the general will receive a 19-gun salute before his body is finally laid to rest. And of course, there you have the body that has been now wheeled in and shall be removed from the hearse when that final military rites is expected to happen there in his home. And of course, what we know is that there will be a signal sounded using a trumpet, and this is going to be an alert to the military for assembly. This is usually sounded in the morning to awaken military personnel, and then followed by a 1-minute silence, which then the last post will be played. This is a tune played on a bugle at military funerals, which also signals a time for the military to retire for the day. And with that, a 19-gun salute in honor of the late general, and then the laying of the wreath ceremony. And of course, after that will be the national anthem that will be played to signal the end of the burial ceremony. Those are live pictures coming to you from the grave side. We can see the military servicemen just waiting to begin that final rites. And of course, we'll be bringing you live pictures of exactly what is happening there. And you can see, according to the drone shots that we have, all the military servicemen now being assembled there. And of course, what we are now waiting to hear is the sound of the trumpet, where they're going to now have the body soon being laid to its final resting place. And of course, what we know from what happened earlier on in terms of the speeches was that President William Ruto has certainly assured that findings of the probe into the helicopter crash that killed the Chief of the Defense Forces, the General Francis Ogolla, will certainly be laid bare. We can see family members there, the son and the daughter, together, the son and the mother walking together, as the wife of the late general, and of course the son Joel. And now the clergymen assembling as they await for the next steps, which will be held in honor of the late general. Those are according to the protocols of the military, and of course this had to be followed, a balance in terms of the wishes of the late general, the wishes of the family, as well as the protocols that are laid bare by the military as well. Family members who are making their way to the graveside first, and then they will be followed, according to what we're seeing, the live pictures there, followed by the clergymen and I believe some of the other dignitaries who have been invited into that final rites ceremony. And that is exactly what is happening so far there. And this is happening in Alego Songa sub-county, that is in Siaya County, specifically in Ngia village. And we did see an outpouring of tributes there just a little bit earlier on from those who managed to speak. And of course, the head of state, that is President William Ruto, says that the Kenya Defense Forces has demonstrated their integrity and professionalism in everything that they have done. And of course, he said that he regretted that many Kenyans have fallen victim to extrajudicial killings and political assassinations in the past, saying that he makes a commitment that there will never be again extrajudicial killings or political assassinations, and that there shall never have, we shall never have to see bodies of Kenyans in River Yala under his watch. Now, Ogolla was among the 10 officers who was killed in a helicopter crash on Thursday on the border between Elgeyo Marakwet and Uasin Gishu counties, and they were on a peace mission in the troubled Rift Valley region, where certainly there has been a lot of issues of cattle rustling and banditry. What we saw is a lot of tributes there to the late general, of course. Even on Saturday, we saw opposition leader Raila Odinga calling for those thorough investigations into that crash, and that is what led to the president saying that there will certainly be a probe done, and that everything will be laid bare for everyone to see. Just also looking back at some of those tributes, Lorna Achieng, the surviving daughter of the late CDF General Francis Ogolla, eloquently expressed how her father inspired her to excel in her career. And of course, speaking about what her father did and giving 100% in everything that he did, not only for his family, but also for country as well, and then his love for his family. Also talking about instances that her father really came out quite strongly in terms of perseverance, narrating how he would commute between the Laikipia Air Base in Nairobi just to attend classes at the University of Nairobi, which he excelled with first-class honors. That is something that she highlighted. And of course, also revealing that during this particular period, there was that Operation Linda Nchi that was also ongoing, and she would constantly ask herself, how can she not achieve, you know, and excel if her father managed to excel quite remarkably? Well, she also recalled a moment back in 2005 when the father was to travel to France for further studies and had only 6 months to learn French. And of course, this was something that she highlighted in her speech. And with a health complication after swallowing a fish bone, he was also hospitalized.